Hello, I'm Emily and I'm an educator at MOHAI, and this is Idea Lab at Home. Join us as we tinker, experiment, and create our way through history with rotating topics and activities. Today, we are exploring board games. If you're a fan of board games and card games, there's a good chance that you've played a game that was invented here. The greater Seattle area has become a haven for people who love to play and make board games. Large and small-scale designers call the Seattle area their home. Pokemon has their US headquarters in Bellevue, Funko is in Everett, and Wizards of the Coast in Renton. Plus, in Seattle, there are smaller publishers like Flat Out Games, and also individuals who have invented games like Taco vs. Burrito, Abandon All Artichokes, and Yukon Salon. Of course, there are also tons of places to buy and play games like Mox Boarding House, Blue Highway Games, Tabletop Village, and Phoenix Comics and Games. This makes for a rich community of developers and players that make Seattle a great testing ground for new games, with conventions as large as the Penny Arcade Expo or PAX, and smaller meetups hosted at game stores. Let's take a look at local games that help put Seattle on the board. How do you invent a board game? Oftentimes, developers use the games they love as inspiration. In the early 1980s, Robert Angel invented a simple party game similar to the game charades, but instead of acting out secret words and phrases, Angel would pick out random words from the dictionary and draw them to see if others could guess them. In 1983, when the game Trivial Pursuit took off, Angel and his coworker Gary Everson adapted its board and mechanics to Angel's picture game. Instead of correctly answering a trivia question to advance on the board, teams would have to draw and correctly guess a secret word, and thus the game Pictionary was born. The board game Cranium, published in 1998, mixes a lot of different games together, on purpose. Its inventors, Richard Tate and Whit Alexander, wanted to create a game that didn't just spotlight one particular skill set, like drawing, but instead played to multiple people's strengths. At first it was a mix of Trivial Pursuit and Pictionary, Scrabble, Hangman, but then they quickly started to incorporate other kinds of challenges like sculpting, humming or whistling tunes, and charades. Our final game changer, Magic: The Gathering, first debuted in 1993. Its inventors were fans of the fantasy role-playing game, or RPG, Dungeons & Dragons. They wanted to make a game that was quick and portable, something you could play in line at gaming conventions. So they invented a card game, but one that also presented the seemingly infinite possibilities of RPGs, a game in which players build their deck from hundreds and now thousands of cards and then duel each other. And they invented an entirely new genre of game. You too can create your own fun by designing your very own board game. The first step is to get inspired. Think about your favorite games. What makes them fun to play? Consider picking a theme. A theme can not only add fun to your game, but also help you make important decisions like the genre of game or the objective or goal of the game. For example, if we were doing a MOHAI-inspired game, you could have visitors trying to make sure that they see their favorite artifacts on display at the museum, which would make a great roll and move game. You could also have a game where curators are trying to develop an exhibit, which might make a great cooperative game, or maybe you're trying to solve a mystery at the museum, which would make a great hidden trader game. Once you have your objective, it's time to figure out how to actually play your game through things like mechanics, rules, and objects. Mechanics are how the game works, or the actions you take to play. These are things like whether you play in teams or as individuals, the number of players, what a turn looks like, what kinds of player interactions there are, the pacing of the game, any obstacles your players will encounter, and whether the game relies on things like chance, skill, strategy, or all of the above. The next step is to write your rules, which tell the players how to play and also establish limitations. Keep it simple at first, and then add things like secondary objectives, penalties, random events, and more. Then think about what kinds of objects your game will use. Objects or pieces can provide ways of tracking gameplay, adding in chance, or helping players execute the rules. Some common examples include a board, cards, dice, player pieces, and tokens. Magic uses a spin down die to count down life. Cranium comes with clay for your sculpting challenges. And Pictionary comes with a notepad for your drawing challenges. The look and feel can greatly impact gameplay, whether it's to help players navigate the board or enhance the fun. For example, Pictionary color codes the board to match the drawing prompts. Cranium has quirky cartoon characters that clue you into the kind of challenge you'll be doing. And Magic includes card art that helps bring you into the world of the game. Once you have your mechanics, rules, and objects pinned down, it's time to build your prototype. Because you'll be testing and likely modifying your game, it's a great idea to start building your prototype with simple or existing materials. You could use existing pieces from other games, but make sure to check with your family first and keep track of where you got things from. But you could use things like playing cards or dice from other games. You can also use everyday materials that you might have around the house, like index cards or coins, to build your prototype. In the activity instructions, we will show you how to make a spinner, a dial counter, a little standee, a paper cube, and a foldable board. Once you have your prototype built, it's time to test your game. First by playing through the game by yourself, and then by observing and taking notes on how others play your game. Pay attention to how they're playing and make sure to ask them what they like about it or what they find frustrating or challenging. Then make changes based on what they say. You can locate the activity instructions below or on our website at mohai.org/education. You can also explore local games in our online collection at mohai.org/collections. Thanks for watching.